Okay, first of all, I want to say that I noticed, I watched a couple of my videos recently, and I noticed I've actually been cutting myself off at the end. For that, I apologize. The sync of what I'm seeing on the screen of the TV compared to how the feed, the capture feed I'm seeing on the computer, are a little delayed. And I guess I'm cutting it off as I'm trying. After I say something, I thought I was stopping the recording after I finished saying what I said, but I guess there's a bit of delay in it getting what I'm saying, so I apologize for that, for cutting myself off. So, but anyway, we have a couple of things to do, obviously, in terms of the quest. Let's go save this hostage in the Hades Gamma Cluster. But before we do that, we have some codex entries to look at. Let's find out more about Thresher Maws.
Are subterranean carnivores that spend their entire lives eating or searching for something to eat. Threshers reproduce via spores that can lie dormant for millennia, yet are robust enough to survive prolonged periods in deep space and atmospheric re-entry. As a result, thresher spores appear on many worlds, spread by previous generations of space travelers. The body of a thresher never entirely leaves the ground. Only the head and tentacles erupt from the earth to attack.
Tentacles.
In addition to physical
Why does it always
attacks,
have to be tentacles?
threshers have the ability to project toxic chemicals and emit bursts of infrasound as a shockwave weapon.
Shockwave.
The Alliance first encountered threshers on the colony of Akuz in 2177. After contact was lost with the Pioneer team, Marine units were deployed to investigate. The shore parties were set upon by hungry threshers, and nearly the entire assault force was killed. Alliance forces recommend engaging threshers with vehicle-mounted heavy weapons.
Which is why it helps out we have the Mako whenever we got. Never take on a Thresher Maw on foot. Only use the Mako. I would only think about doing it if he's like near death, but if he is able to get some kind of attack, then I'm done for. So, but what was it? Oh. Do you notice? Do you guys remember the origin stories or the pre-service histories that we could have chosen, like the Colonist or the Earthborn, and then you refer to some of the other ones like Soul Survivor and Ruthless. Do you notice how there are constant references to those other events? Like if you had chosen to be a Soul Survivor, you would have been part of this group that was nearly killed by the Thresher Maws. You would have been a part of that unit, and you would have been like the only one that survived, or would you have? And then there's like if it references Mindwar, the colony Mindwar, then that was the one where the slavers attacked and killed all those people, and your parents were killed in the attack there, but you were the only one that made it out. Things like that. They're constantly referencing all these pre-service history things you could have chosen, even if you don't choose it.
The home world and capital of humanity is entering a new golden age.
Yes.
The
Our
resource
home
wealth
planet.
of a dozen settled colonies and 100 industrial outposts flows back to Earth, fueling great works of industry, commerce, and art. The great cities are greening, as arcology skyscrapers and telecommuting allow more efficient use of land. Earth is still divided among nation-states.
Of course
All
it
are
is.
affiliated beneath the overarching banner of the Systems Alliance. While every human enjoys a longer and better life than ever, the gap between rich and poor widens daily.
Of course it does.
Advanced nations have eliminated most genetic disease and pollution. Less
Really?
fortunate regions have not progressed beyond 20th century technology.
Man.
And are often smog-choked, overpopulated slums.
Oh, so it's
Sea levels
LA.
have risen 2 meters in the last 200
I
years.
kid.
And violent weather is common due to environmental damage inflicted
Wow.
during the late 21st century.
Oh man.
The past few decades, however, have seen significant improvement due to recent technological advances.
Man, so sea levels have risen. And environmental damage. I guess other devastating, maybe other devastating hurricanes just ravage the rest of the planet. Huh. Funny it doesn't name off what places are. It says that have not progressed beyond 20th century technology. But some of these I'm like, oh, I just kind of laugh at, like it says, while every human enjoys a longer, better life than ever, the gap between rich and poor widens daily. No kidding! Sounds like today. Space combat. Yes.
Dominates space combat. The primary objective is to align the mass accelerator along the bow with the opposing vessel's broadside. Battles typically play out as artillery duels, fought at ranges measured in thousands of kilometers, though assaults through defended mass relays often occur at knife fight ranges, as close as a few dozen kilometers. Most ship-to-ship engagements are skirmishes between patrol vessels of cruiser weight and below, with dreadnoughts and carriers only deployed in full-scale fleet actions. Battles in open space are short and often inconclusive, as the weaker opponent typically disengages. Once a ship enters FTL flight, the combat is effectively over. There are no sensors
let's get out of here.
tracking them, or weapons capable of damaging them. The only way to guarantee an enemy will stand and fight is to attack a location they have a vested interest in, such as a settled world or a strategically important mass relay.
I can't help it. I keep referencing Star Wars. I can't help it. Oh, man. I do wish there was space combat, and that's like something that a lot of people have said about the franchise. They wish that space combat had been implemented. It would have been so cool to be able to control the Normandy and engaging enemy ships or something in space combat. Like as if you were doing those great battles in the Star Wars movies. Oh, so we got more specific entries in the Codex from talking. I believe I got these from talking to Liara, because she would tell me about the Asari culture, the government, the religion, Solarians, Turians. So these are a lot other very specific, even ones here, Protheans. Yeah, you could actually get, but this I got because I scanned Mars, the Mars ruins. Alright, so let's read this one, see what happened when we discovered the Mars ruins that allowed humans to get the technology they needed. After 20 years of manned research outposts and nearly a century of robotic exploration, the European Space Agency's Lowell City became the first permanent settlement on Mars in 2103. You hear that, everyone? In about a century, we're going to be on Mars. Within a decade, the United States and China had founded a permanent settlements as well. Of course we did. Naturally, of course, China and the USA follow. USA. The South Polar region of Promethe Planum developed as Bermuda Triangle reputation. Satellites detected intermittent mass concentrations and magnetic field shifts. In 2148, prospectors working near Deseado Crater discovered an underground complex, a Prothean observation post. The odd phenomena were generated by the operation and discharge of a Mass Effect core struggling to function despite 50 millennia of neglect. Earth was electrified by the news. Humanity was unequivocally not alone. While courts battled over who owned the ruins, the international scientific community coordinated a massive effort to access, translate, and interpret the databanks recovered from the facility. The facility proved to be a biosciences observation post, built when Homo sapiens were first evolving on Earth. While the motives of the Protheans are not certain, translated records indicate that the facility was in regular communication with automated observation platforms in Earth orbit and on the lunar near side. The half-dozen Mass Effect spaceships found in the facility were presumably used for first-hand observation. The Prothean beacon downloaded its knowledge into Commander Shepard on Eden Prime, causing confusing images, dreams, and visions. While the imagery is becoming clearer with time, the meaning of the beacon communication remains elusive. It has been suggested that Prothean data recording is highly dependent on a certain point of view, what Carl Jung described as the collective unconscious. The cipher needed to comprehend the images implanted in Shepard's mind is the cultural knowledge of a Prothean. The archetypes, biological instincts, and common experiences universal to the race. Since the Protheans have been dead for millennia, it may be impossible to acquire this cipher. So at some point we're going to have to try and see if we can get some of these, get this cipher. More on Geth, Krogan, Quarians. See, this is what I love about these kind of development studios. The amount of work they put into backstory and history and lore for all these different races. I mean, just imagine them sitting around trying to come up with all these different types of histories for all these different types of races for their game. It's just so good, so well developed, so in such great detail. All these different codex entries you can spend reading all about and getting more information on. And I bet a lot of people have, and it's like been really helpful to understanding a lot of these different things. So anyway, we've spent enough time looking at a couple of codex entries. Let's go save. Let's see. Fanatical Biotics and the Hades Gamma Cluster have kidnapped the chairman of the Parliament Subcommittee on Transhuman Studies and are holed up in a derelict freighter in the Farinata system. So let's find the freighter in the Farinata system of the Hades Gamma Cluster and make our way to the biotics on board. Alright, let's see.
Message coming in.
Oh.
Patching it through.
Thank you, Joker.
Commander, Miss Al-Jalani's story.
Yes. How'd it go?
She shouldn't have ambushed you like that. But you handled it pretty well.
Well, I did the best I could.
We had differences of opinion, sir. I hope she at least believed my sincerity.
Yeah.
You handled yourself pretty well, Commander. She came across like a raving idiot.
Good.
Just wanted to let you know what the response was back home.
Thank you.
I won't keep you any longer. Fifth Fleet out.
Thank you, Admiral. Good. Sometimes those kind of reporters do come off as raving lunatics. I'm just saying, you know, it's not like I've never been a reporter or anything, but I'm just saying, reporters, come on. If you can at least not act that way, not come across as like just some raving lunatic or something, you know, maybe we'd be a little more open to talking with you. All right, let's go to the system and save the hostage. The chairman of the board. No, it's not Frank Sinatra. That's always a cool little cutscene of it, of the Normandy pulling out of the Citadel. Let's make the jump! Zoom!
Message for you, Commander.
Oh.
Just came in over a secure channel.
Okay.
Shepard, this is Admiral Kohoku.
Oh, it's Admiral Kohoku.
I found out who set that trap for my men. The ones killed by the Thresher Moor. Damn, I hope you get this message.
I got it.
It was a group called Cerberus.
Cerberus?
An Alliance Black Ops organization. Top secret, highest level security clearance.
Why would they do
vanished
that
a
to
few
your men,
months
though?
ago. Dropped right off the grid. Nobody knew where they went or what they were up to.
So they've gone dark.
They've gone completely rogue, Shepard.
Oh,
They're conducting
man.
illegal genetic experiments, trying to create some kind of super soldier.
Super
I don't have any
soldier.
proof, but I found the coordinates for one of their research worlds. I'm uploading them with this message. They're completely out of control. Somebody needs to stop them. I've done my part. Now it's up to you.
Super soldier.
This is probably the last you'll hear from me.
Don't say that, Admiral.
Cerberus is after me now. I need to disappear before they find me.
Oh my gosh, we gotta save him. My god. It's super soldier. If I find that they've made an Incredible Hulk or a Captain America... oh boy.